So fun. Anyways, all right. Hey, this is Brad again, and if you've been on my Instagram before, you know that I just love talking to other entrepreneurs and community. And I have Eric Enns here from ENEX Siding here in Mitchell. And you just know when you drive by his business, his signage, you know that he just loves investing into the community and doing all sorts of initiatives like that. And so he's inspired me and helped me as my business has grown. And so I'm here just wanting to pick his brain and allow other people to see that as well and to learn how your business and your life can invest more into community, and we can see an impact here. So I want to just know, like, where did it all start? So I'm sure it didn't start as a massive siding business. Where did it start?
Yeah, no, I started, me, myself, and I had a beater Dodge, 1990 Dodge Caravan. Had to put some extra leaf springs in there to haul my trailer. That was also my home vehicle. So I had to rip out the back seat to haul the tools, and then got home, put the seat back in to haul the kids around.
That's
so
hilarious.
Definitely starting out with a whole lot of nothing. But that was back in that time I was out in Kleefeld. So that's where I would have started in about 2006.
So was it mostly like renos, or did you like do a lot of new home builds, that type of thing?
It was both end. I think, actually, yeah, probably mostly new. But I would take whatever I could get.
Yeah.
At that time, when you're starting out, it's just like, whoa, you got work for me, I'll take it.
Totally.
So you're not very picky.
So how fast? So now you're running 3-4 crews, or maybe way more than that?
Yeah, we run anywhere from 5 to 9 crews.
Okay, so way more than
so
that.
it fluctuates throughout
Yeah.
the year and stuff like that.
So when did it start getting to a point where you said, okay, the business is growing, I want to start expanding, multiplying, that type of thing? How many years in?
Wow, that's a good question. I would say, I worked by myself for probably the first year or two with a little bit of help from a guy here or there. And then I hired a couple of guys, and probably to get to actually just even adding another crew, I was probably 5 years in.
Okay.
So it takes a little while to start getting that. And then after that, it kind of goes a little bit quicker. Every couple of years, you're adding a crew. And even now, it kind of depends on the work out there and on how things are going. So we have a number of employees, and then we also have sub-trades. So
Okay.
That's kind of how our crews are divided up or whatever.
So probably with 2 crews, you're 5 years in, 1 to 2 crews, you're probably making millions by that point, and
Yeah,
just crushing it, right?
Yeah, the money was incredible. The thing is that starting out, we had a couple businesses actually go under while we were trying to build. So we stepped back a few times, kind of pretty significantly, because we were out a chunk of money, right? So
Yeah.
those are kind of the risks that you take. So yeah, you're not making a whole lot of money. You're surviving. It takes a number of years before you're actually at a place where you feel more comfortable, per se.
I heard a quote once where they said, an overnight success, there's always 10 years behind an overnight success.
Yeah,
like 10
totally.
years.
Yeah,
10 years
absolutely.
of grinding
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
an overnight success.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
often on social
For sure.
media, I know, like, you get this kind of like picture where these entrepreneurs, they're 24 and then they're millionaires overnight. And yeah, that happens, like with the internet and whatever, but
Sure.
But the average business owner, I think the stat is the average new company is started by a 45-year-old.
Right.
And the average person becomes a millionaire, I think, over 50.
Right.
Like, it's not like,
Yeah,
it's like a full year, many years of life experience. And then finally,
that's right.
there's what we would say success.
That's right. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
what culture would say
Well,
success.
and to be honest, that NX wasn't my first business.
Okay.
So I pretended to be a business owner previous to that in roofing. And I did roofing for a little while. Unfortunately, I needed surgery on both my knees, so that didn't work out too well. But as a business, I was horrible. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what even business means. And even now, try to define that word business. What is that?
Yeah.
Right? So, and it's so different. I mean, Lowen Windows is a business.
Yeah.
Brad is a business.
Yeah.
ENEX is a business, and there's all sorts of differences within them all. So it's Yeah, business. What does that even mean? I mean, it's
So when you think of starting like the scrappy starter company, Eric and his tools minus 20, to you running the 5 to 9 crews, what are some key things that got you from point A to point whatever further down the road? Is it like mentors? Was it like key people investing, or was it you just grinding it out? What are some key things that got
you know
there?
there's probably a list of things that I could give you, but if I'm going to break it down, it's definitely going to be people that invested into me. Okay, now sometimes you need to find those people, right? Like you said, finding mentors.
Yeah.
I did go through a situation where I just about quit because I couldn't find a mentor. And then I thought I had found a couple, and I was actually quite excited. I was just like, oh man, I was motivated to run a business with integrity, and I was going to do this the right way. And I found a couple of people that I thought were the key, right? Like they were going to help me, and they were in construction. And so I actually did work for a couple of these companies, and they both didn't pay me. And I was like, what do you do? I went home that day. I was like, told my wife, Carol, I quit. I'm done. I'm out. If that's what business is, I can't do that. Yeah. And so she said something to me, and she didn't say it in these words. I heard it from, I can't remember, a different source. But this is the way I remember it. She says, Eric, you are now going to become the person that you're looking for.
I love that.
And I was just like, I don't know what that is, right? Like, because I thought somebody else was going to invest into me.
Yeah.
So it was just like making a clear choice of actually what did I want to be, not what was somebody else going to make me become. So when I sat down and I took the time of like, I want a business that impacts, that makes a difference. I don't want to be just a business because, and like I've probably told you before, I oftentimes tell people I'm not a businessman. I'm a man with a business.
Yeah, totally.
So again, I've had people come at me with, oh no, da da da. I'm like, no. Actually, because for me, it's always about the people before it is about the business.
Yeah.
Because people makes business. That's just the reality of it. So at that point, it was like, okay, who do I want to become? What kind of difference do I want to make? And how am I going to do this? And it takes a little step, one step at a time. So again, I know I've rabbit trailed here a bit. So getting from point A to point B was understanding who I am, what are my talents, what are my abilities, and what can I do with them? Not comparing to some other business, not comparing to some other
And then also your
person.
values too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Your talents, your abilities, what you're good at, and then also what are the things that you're not going to compromise on ever.
That's right.
And that's what I know about you. You don't.
That's right. And integrity to me was, and you know what, that played into it. Being kind of, not getting paid by some of these guys and kind of feeling like you're getting the short end of the stick. It was like, I am not going to be that guy. And so if I made a promise at that time, and to my wife and to God, I was just like, I am going to run a business of integrity. Whatever that looks like. If that means I end up without a business because I can't make it, because the only way I can make it is shortcuts, ripping people off. No, I'm not doing it. I love to go to bed at night and be able to sleep. And at the end of the day, again, I wanted to make a positive impact in community. So yes, definitely taking those values, and then now how do you walk them out? And so finding a mentor is amazing, and that's great. And I've had tons of mentors and people that have helped me out. I mean, if you look at my page over the last little while, you're seeing the different men that have impacted me and made a difference in my life and brought me to where I am. And so, again, knowing where you're starting, who you are, be honest with yourself, like fully honest, like understand that you suck at things, right? Like, and you're just not going to figure it out.
Totally.
I started business because I knew how to install siding. I didn't start a business because I knew how to figure out all the government jazz and all the source deductions, and it's just like I totally get that. That's just a mess, right? Like or accounting or whatever, right? Like there's so many people that I need. So understand what you suck at. And then now you got a starting point. Now it's just like, okay, this is what I'm good at. Focus on what you're good at.
Yeah.
Don't try to be something you're not. And then you start being able to, okay, this is what this looks like. This is what this looks like. This is what this looks like. One step at a time. Yes, It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of years.
Yeah, I think of when I started, you're way further along the journey than I am. I'm only 3 years in. But so I love helping people. I was a pastor before, so I love helping people.
Yeah.
And I, like this, even my house here, I designed it and I general contracted it, and I love housing.
That's right.
So I love housing and love people, and I'm like, okay, well, real estate sounds like a good career.
Totally.
And so, but the same way, like all the government regulation, now I've learned a lot, like a ton in 3 years, like tons about housing and zoning and all these different things where you have to learn quick.
That's right.
I mean, probably that you've probably felt at times the imposter syndrome where you're like, I know, but so then you open up Google, but you learn as you go. And I think the biggest thing is when starting is like I always had to be in the posture like know what you suck at, but then be willing to ask.
That's right. 100%.
So often when even my friends would come at the first year and say, hey, I want to sell your house, I'd always tell them, I'm not sure this answer, but I'll find it to you quickly.
Right.
And then very quick, I'd call my broker or research or whatever. And I think people are okay with that. Like people don't need you to know everything instantly.
No.
They actually want to work with people that are humble and that are going to be honest. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'm going to find it out for you right away.
Well, like you had mentioned even earlier on when we were discussing being authentic.
Totally.
Being authentic is one of the greatest gifts that you can give somebody.
Yeah.
Because they know what the expectation is. If you come across as though you know everything, you've actually scared them a little bit.
Unfortunately, realtors have that reputation.
Well, I think all industries have that, but it's just
Look at me, I'm awesome. I got everything figured out.
Yeah. But if I have somebody come to me and I'm looking for a service, and if he knows everything, I'm kind of scared.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if you do.
Well, totally, because we actually need people in our circle.
That's right.
Yeah, I recently held a meetup for investors, like people who want to start up in real estate investing.
Yeah.
And there was like 25 people there, and what was really cool, I had done a project with one of my clients, and what was really cool at that event, his insurance broker was there, his mentor was there. I was there. There was like his contractor was there. There was like 5 people that had benefited and worked together to complete this investment, this flip.
Yeah.
And then sold, and we sold it for over ask. It was great, but it wasn't just him. Like it wasn't
That's
just, he didn't need to know everything. He had a team of people that contributed to this project that benefited, all of us benefited from it. Huge. So it was awesome. So going into like now, knowing you're passionate about investing into your employees, into their families. I mean, I've seen you do family days and you post on ENEX Instagram page. You're always posting ENEX family days and all these things. Yeah. You're passionate about investing into people in your business, but then, well, Thanksgiving, you always see the ENEX turkey giveaway, right? Or like the co-op Slurpee day or Slurpee giveaway.
Yeah.
And you're always investing into the community. Where does that start from? Like, where did it go from Eric putting siding on house to now Eric saying, this is a vehicle where I can bring change to a community or influence?
Good question. Obviously money plays into it, right?
Yeah.
Like if you don't got nothing, it's hard.
Can't give anything.
But the thing is that you don't need a lot to start.
No.
If you have a little bit, there's something you can do. You get involved in areas. One thing I think is very important is get to know your community. Who is your community? That might be getting to know people that are involved in community, right? So if we look at here in Mitchell, some of the people that I got to know fairly well is Dick Penner.
Yeah.
Okay, so he passed away a little while back.
Yeah.
Same with Bernie Staun.
Yeah.
Incredible community people.
Yeah.
Brad Kaler.
Yeah.
Incredible. Brian Esau. So they're getting to know what is this community, what's the heart of the community, and then what are the needs? What needs to happen here, right? Now, even if you don't do that, I mean, it's just good to know community people because it gets your heart in the right place.
It totally does.
But doing the Slurpee thing, you know, we started off with, you know, we limited it to a certain amount of Slurpees, right?
Yeah.
Like we can only do this maybe twice in a summer, right? Like, and then you add some days or whatever the case. But it's going to be different for different people. Like, I mean, this last summer, me and you did the Slurpee days together, and that was amazing. And I think, I don't know, how many Slurpees did they go? There was like 5,000 Slurpees that we ended up giving.
Well, it was $6,000 worth of Slurpees.
Right, yeah. Like, I don't know. It was a
Slurpees.
lot of Slurpees. But there's no way you can do that when you just start out, right?
Totally.
You can't. But the people, like, again, it's not really about the money. It's the heart of it. And so if your heart's in it, it will expose itself. Like, and so, again, once you start making a bit of money, also understanding that us as business owners, we have a responsibility.
Yeah.
We have a responsibility to our communities.
Yeah, agreed.
And that is so critical. And so we have an opportunity to impact. Not only because maybe we're business owners, maybe we're making money. A lot of business owners don't make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And we've all been in that spot. Yeah. And even comparison to other people, we may not make a whole lot of money, right? And so understanding that, okay, as a business owner, I have an opportunity to impact my community because they are looking at us. They are looking at us. So again, you said before, sometimes it's kind of like this, the business owners, da-da-da-da. Well, when you look go to the arena or go to the baseball diamonds or whatever, you see these signs, right? Is it advertising? Yes, absolutely. It's good to advertise.
Yeah.
But if we're going to advertise, majority of our money is going to go into a community, whether it's Mitchell, whether it's Kleefeld, surrounding areas. That's where we're going to put our money because those are the people that are supporting us, right? That's where my employees' kids play soccer or baseball or what. Like, why would I not invest into them and then invest into a community that's investing into me? Like, it only makes sense. And now I have this opportunity, which again, I think is a responsibility to walk this out. And it's just brilliant. It's actually being able to now bring community, businesses, let's put those two aside and bring people together to be able to create a better society for everybody.
I was talking to one business owner recently and he said, and I was asking kind of like, what is motivation to grow his company? It's a big company here in town. And he said, well, part of it is 160 employees' mortgages are dependent on this business doing well. And I love that when this business does well, I can bless people and make sure that people are taken care of. And that's like a huge heart because if we don't have good, integral business people growing these businesses and expanding, we don't have good paying jobs that pay for people's mortgages. And we all know how high mortgages are right now. And we all know how high grocery bills are right now and everything else right now. It actually is important that we have integral business people that say, actually, I need to grow this business, not for just my own self gain, but to actually bless others as well. Now there is self gain. Like we're not gonna like we're not gonna like there's self gain as well. But on top of that, there's a lot of people. Like if you have 9 crews at some point, that's what 7 a crew?
No, they're probably about 3 or 4.
Okay, but
but still,
like 30 people or more that their life is dependent on your business, you getting jobs, and your business growing. And if not, where's the mortgages?
Well, and that's true. And to even just make a statement to that, and I 100% agree with you. But there's kind of that both and, right? Like yes, my business or ENEX as a whole, it's not even my business, I should say our business. I can't do, like, I'm not that important, I'm not that big of a deal, I'm very replaceable, okay? If I'm gone, somebody else is gonna come in and take it up, right? So, as a business owner, I don't put a lot of value on my position in the sense of the description of it. Right.
I get it.
I need my guys. If I don't have my guys, I've been doing reviews the last couple of weeks with my guys. And the reality is, it would look very different if I was just me, myself, and I within the industry that I'm in. Like
Totally.
in real estate, it's all you.
Yeah.
Like for so many things.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have people supporting and stuff like
Sure.
that. But for me, I need my people.
Yeah.
Like, and they are the integral part of my company.
Well, what's interesting is you say it's all me. Yes, it's as a realtor, you have to throw your face out there. That's
Right.
just the way
Yeah.
it is. But unless I have supports like the brokers, like people helping do the background work, the lawyers, the mortgage brokers, there is no way. So maybe it's not. I'm not hiring them as my employees all the time.
Right.
But trust me, these deals need more than me.
That's right. Yeah.
Like people
For sure.
need
Yeah.
a team, and so it's a little bit different. So me, I don't have lots of employees, but for me, it's like investing into relationships outside of my business.
That's right.
So I have a really good friend, a mortgage broker, who yesterday saved a deal. Like there's no way
Right.
that we would have got that house unless he would have put a pile of time into it
Right.
and
Yeah.
got it through.
Yeah.
And there's no way that I wouldn't have been able to sell a house unless he did the amount of
That's
energy
right.
and work into it, or the lawyer, or whoever
Yeah.
else that I'm working with. So it's interesting, like you're directly investing into people that are working for you and others. I know that you do.
Right. Yeah.
For me, it's like investing into lots of people that touch the deal, because
Right.
if I'm selling your house, probably I'm going to be working with a mortgage broker, a lawyer, sometimes a stager, sometimes a person fixing your house.
That's right.
Then the admin people, then my
Yeah.
broker. Like
Yeah.
you can have up to a team of 7, 8 people working
Yeah.
on one project, right?
For
So,
sure.
which is kind of cool. Like it is.
Yeah.
You get to just bless people and
Well, and that's understanding that again
Yeah.
is just so important. Understanding your community. I mean, for us, yeah, we have our employees, but us too. We have we're still dealing with general contractors. We're
Yeah.
dealing with homeowners. We're dealing with our different suppliers, our different people for tools and our machines and stuff like so. Again, understanding the opportunity and the responsibility that we have as business owners to impact and make a difference.
Yeah.
Like it's just all around us. It's just like, and when you're thinking all about you all the time, I mean, life gets stressed. You're stressed.
Yeah.
You just actually are.
Totally.
I always have a stack of gift cards in my truck.
Yeah.
Always. And if I feel I'm getting stressed, like out of the office, go drive around, hand some out.
I love that.
It actually puts me back where I belong.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, this is about people. This isn't about, and I mean, again, there's our families too, right? Like that's a whole nother story. I won't even walk down that road.
Oh yeah, we can
but,
go on for
but yeah, that's right. We can
hour
talk for
about
hours. But I got to put myself back in my place sometimes and be like, no, it's not always about this, but it is always about people. It's sometimes about this, but it's always about people.